VCT solenoids. So if you've got a Barra engine, any car with a Barra in it, chances are you're going to come across these things, either because you've got a throttle or an idle issue and these things have gone bad, or because you're changing your rocker cover gasket and these things are in the way. So when it comes to these VCT solenoids on Barras, there are 3 types, and in this quick video I'm just going to walk you through what those 3 types are, which one you need for your car, and how to swap these out if you encounter any problems with them. So let's go. Right, so here I am with my 2007 BF Falcon Ute. This one's a gassy, an LPG engine, and I've got the rocker cover off. Now, while I've got this off, I thought I'd quickly show you what these things are all about. So they sit in right here. Did you notice that little screw hole there? So that little screw hole is only available on the BAs and the BFs. So here is the BA and the BF solenoid with a mounting screw in here. And this right here is the FG type. The only difference between these two is this little mounting bracket here. Ford decided that that was no longer required on the VCT solenoids moving forwards. That's a good thing. Let me show you why. They literally just slide in and sit there. Well, the reason that's better is because it doesn't require you to take the rocker cover off to remove the VCT solenoids. There is still a mounting bracket that sits over the top of these once the rocker cover is on that holds things in position. So these aren't going anywhere. This is late BA BF and this is FG. If you've got a BF, these will fit. I would also assume that if you've got an FG and you have to make do, the late BAs and BFs will also fit onto an FG to get you by. So what's the difference between these and the early BAs? Well, the difference is actually the diameter of the solenoids. The diameter of the solenoids is 18 millimeters, 1/8, whereas these later BF types are 20 millimeters, and that's identical to the FG. So that's why the BFs and the FGs can share solenoids, early and later ones, but the BA ones, they're narrower and they wouldn't necessarily fit the later type solenoids. Also, on the early BAs, there is no oil filter screen here. Can you see how there's a little mesh filter over this solenoid? And same with the FG type. On the BAs, that little mesh filter is missing. It's not there. So that's the difference. Now, the problem with this screw is if you've got a bolt here and you've got to change this solenoid, well, suddenly you've got to take this entire rocker cover off to be able to undo this bolt and basically dismount the solenoid. But if you've got a later FG type solenoid and that just slides in and out like so, all you really need to do is, with the rocker cover still in place, is just slide this away. There's no need to take the rocker cover off in order to undo this bolt and remove the solenoid. So that's the benefit of having a later type FG solenoid. I needed to change my solenoids and therefore I had to take my rocker cover off, and that's why I thought I'd make this quick video to show you the differences between the 3. So the early BAs up until about 2004 had the narrower VCT solenoid, that's about 18 millimeters in diameter, and no oil screen filter on the ends there. The late BAs and the BFs had the 20 millimeter VCT solenoids with the mesh filter, but they still had the screw, and then the later FG types had no screw and they're still 20 millimeters and they still had the mesh oil filter. If you've got a late BA onwards, you can ideally put the FG solenoids into your Barra, and if you've got the earlier cars, then your solenoid diameter is 18 millimeters anyway, so you're stuck with those smaller solenoids that you will need to remove the rocker cover for if you want to change them. So anyway, I hope that helps you out. I'm in the middle of changing the rocker cover gaskets on this car now because I took the whole thing off. So while you're in there, I'm putting a new seal kit on the rocker cover. If you want to see how to change the rocker cover gasket on a Barra, check out that video. But yeah, this was my short little takeaway video on these VCT solenoids, and if you've got this problem on your car, then go ahead and try this at home. I'll catch you next time.